If the passion's gone, we are doing it wrong. If the passion's gone, we are doing it wrong.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on Buy Sell Cars TV. Today we are talking about this Chevrolet. So I've just picked this up from BCA Blackbush. The reason for the video is there's not actually a lot that needs doing to this car, but that's kind of the reason behind doing it. The aim of today is to get this car driven back home, fingers crossed if everything's well on the car, get it cleaned up, get it photographed and get it advertised by the end of the day. And just to give you context, it's 5:15, so we need to be quick and get this done. What I'm going to do is get the camera set up, give you a walk around the car, show you the interior exterior, quick overview, we'll get driving back and we'll carry on with the video, and fingers crossed we can get this one ready for sale. So let's give you a quick overview of the exterior of the car. Just to give context, it was a no reserve car, so again, grade wise, report wise, there wasn't a lot to go by, but it was a low mileage car. It's a 2008 model, small engine, so I thought I'm going to go for it. But let's give you a quick walk around. So on first impressions, you can see it's not that bad in terms of condition. I'm not also going to say it's perfect because it's definitely not that. Rear bumper, it looks a little bit faded, possibly had a previous repair done in the past, but nothing too bad, nothing too end of the world. It's got a few marks in it, but it's expected. It's an old car. Yes, it's low mileage, but it is an old car, and especially when you take into consideration the value. Moving down the passenger side, it's all looking pretty good, especially down on these two doors, paintwork, and not really that many dinks, which is good news. Only things to point out is over here, so we've got a bit of bad paintwork, especially around here, starting to flake away. But in the grand scheme of things, when you consider the cost of the car, it's not end of the world. Moving down over here to the front of the car, little things like the headlights could do with restoration, but it's not an MOT failure. It hasn't come up on the MOT. So overall, on first impressions of the exterior, considering it hasn't been cleaned, this is a no reserve car, and we're talking not a lot of money. I'm very, very happy with this so far. Let's check the interior. So as we go into the interior, you can see things are looking pretty clean and to start with. I don't think this car really needs a valet. It definitely needs a hoover, but it doesn't need a super deep clean. And this is one of the things I picked up on when I was looking at this car online. It's a two-owner car, very, very low mileage. The interior looked very clean. All of these are positives when you're buying a cheap used car. Let me show you the back as well. It's the same situation over here. It really does look new. So far, things are looking really good. Overall impression of the interior and exterior, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. Interior is fantastic, but obviously the bodywork does have a couple of things, especially on that passenger side where the paint is starting to go. But when you take into consideration the price of the car, think how much you're going to be selling these for, not too concerned. So overall, things are looking great. So let's get the camera set up and go for a drive, because what's more important on a car of this value is the way it drives, not how it looks. So if it doesn't drive good, we've got a bit of a problem. We're going to have to get things rectified. And if the car drives very, very well, then fingers crossed we can get it cleaned up and get it advertised by today. So let's head on with the drive now. Clutch seems really nice. Feels like the clutch has potentially been replaced in the past. It's feeling nice and light. The biting point is very, very good, but going through all the gears really nice into fifth. It's a great start. We haven't even pulled out the car park yet. Right, so as I mentioned, the purpose of today is to try and get this car taken back home and ready for sale. So I'm going to bring you on that journey today, and by the end of the video, if things go well, this car should be advertised. So we're about 5 minutes into the drive. First impressions, things are looking very, very good. I'm very, very happy about this purchase. The good thing about me buying a car from Blackbush, this is my local auction, so especially when I'm buying a no reserve car, you know, you're not getting that essential check report. A lot of the times the essential check report, by the way, isn't 100% accurate, so you might still go pick up a car that you think is going to be good and it's not. But in this case, obviously you don't get a report with the no reserve cars, so I prefer to just get a car more locally, because if I do have any issues, I'm closer to the office, I can arrange recovery, it's a bit more straightforward. But the reason I bought this car is a couple of reasons, but the main 2 points of buying a car without the BCA essential report or an assured report. So this car's low mileage, it's only done 37,000. A 2008 car that's done 37,000, that's super low mileage. You know, people are normally doing between 10 and 15 on average per year, so 37k is lovely. The other point why I like this car was the ownership. So it was a two-owner car, and doing a HPI on the car, and you can see that the current owner has had it since 2009. So that's pretty much throughout its whole life. When you think it's an 08 plate car, and the owner's had it since '09, it's damn near enough for one owner car in my opinion. So that, complementing the fact that it's a low mileage car, tells me a bit about the history, tells me a little bit about the ownership of what type of person may own the car. Now, if I was just making a guess, I could be completely wrong here, but it could have been an elderly person. That's just based on the mileage and obviously having the long-term ownership. That's something which you tend to find in common, is low miles and long-term ownerships tends to be with more elderly people. I'm not trying to generalize, but that's just what I find when I'm buying used cars. And the third point of why I like this car was it's got a good MOT, pretty clean from my memory. If there were advisories, I think they were quite minimal, but it was a pretty clean MOT, and it's valid until next year, April. So from my perspective of buying this car, bearing in mind it's not a lot of money because it is a no reserve car, I'm getting a 2-owner car with low mileage and it's got a long MOT. This tells me I'm more likely to have a more straightforward sell. What I mean by that is I could potentially buy the car and just drive it home, get it washed and get it advertised, like the plan is for today's video. You know, if the MOT was short on the car, you can't do that straight away. You know, you might need to get the car inspected as it's been a long time since it's been MOT'd. If it's been done very more recently and the car drives well, you've got more reassurance that the car is in good working order. But if it's been sort of 8 or 9 months since the last MOT, you don't want to sell that car on to someone without getting it checked first, because it's only going to lead to more hassle for you and the customer if there are any problems after the sale. So keeping it short and sweet, those are the reasons why I bought this car. It's a small engine hatchback, it's only a 1.4. These are the sort of things in the current climate where things are expensive, cost of living is high, people do tend to buy. But this specific car, the Chevrolet Kalos, however you pronounce it, there's not actually a lot of them for sale. So it can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. You know, it's not the most popular car. You probably don't see a lot of them on the road. And if you even think about it for a second now and ask yourself, when's the last time you saw one? You probably couldn't recall it. But if I ask you the same question, when did you last see a Ford Fiesta? You'd probably say 5 seconds ago. That tells you a little bit about these cars and the popularity, but I'm just basing this purchase on obviously the mileage and obviously the points that I've spoken about today. So, like I say guys, keeping it short and sweet, what we're gonna do now is get it taken to the car wash, and then I'm gonna get this car photographed, and that's when we're gonna pick up this video and end it with a conclusion there, seeing how this car looks and getting it presented. So let's get that done now, and I'm gonna catch up with you in about an hour. So I'll see you then guys. Right, so we're back in the office, and the good news is the car drove very, very well. Got the car cleaned, got it photographed, which means that it can be ready for sale. So in the office now, gonna get everything uploaded and put onto the site. I'm thinking price-wise, I'm thinking it is gonna be sort of sub £2,000. There are similar examples which are more expensive. However, I just want a quick sale, get the car in and out quickly, keep the money circulating, sell it quick, and then be able to buy more stock. So that's the plan of action. What I want you guys to do though is, rather than me give away how much I paid for the car in this moment in time, I want you to comment down below and let me know how much you think I paid for this car. Now, what I'll say, it's not a part exchange where I got a really good deal necessarily. I paid, I'm going to say, a fair price for the car, but it was from British Car Auction. You know, they have fees as well. So comment down below and let me know what you think the total cost of the car was, and it'd just be interesting to see what your thoughts are. And just to refresh your mind, it's a 2008 1.4, it's done 30,000 odd miles, it's a 2-owner car, and it's got a long MOT up until April next year with no advisories. So hopefully that gives you a bit of context into the car. So fingers crossed things will go well with the sale of this car. Like I say, I'm going to get it advertised now in a record time, to be honest with you. It's not even 7 o'clock yet, so we've done pretty well to get the car brought back home, get it cleaned, get it photographed, and get it uploaded for sale, all within about 2 hours. So really pleased about that. The only thing I might get done to this car is potentially an oil and filter change. I can get that done over the weekend. That way it adds a bit of value to the car. The other good thing about this car is, as well, is all the tyres are in really good condition. The rears look near enough new, and the fronts aren't even probably halfway worn. So this car's got a lot going for it. Fingers crossed it's going to be an easy sale, but let's see how things go. And I will update you guys in a future video to let you know how things have gone with a couple of the cars which I have bought. But like I say, quick and short video today guys, just to show you getting a car ready for sale in a short amount of time. Not a lot needed to do to this car, but that was the purpose of the video. But like I say, comment down below, let me know how much you think I paid for the car, And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And I'm going to see you on the next one. Take care, guys.